online programs across the Caribbean. So we work with Edinburgh Napier University now for 11 years, since 2012, and in that time recruited nearly 5,000 students to our programs across the Caribbean. So today I'm going to talk to you about innovative online programs from Scotland. And Scotland is a very innovative school. He was the founder of modern economics. Penicillin, Alexander Fleming. The MRI scanner, John Allen. Have you heard of Dolly the sheep at all? Dolly the sheep, a very important scientific breakthrough. The first cloned mammal developed just down the road from Edinburgh Napier University at Roslin Institute. The Harry Potter book written by J.K. Rowling when she was living and studying in Edinburgh. And if you're familiar with online gaming, then you'll know Grand Theft Auto and perhaps Minecraft as well, developed by Rockstar North, a Scottish company as well. So the point to show you that today we're talking about innovative online programs from a very innovative country. Okay, that there is Edinburgh Castle, right bang in the middle of the city of Edinburgh, dating back about 900 years. And then, so obviously it's a very historical city. It's actually home also to more startup companies than any other UK city outside London. So not only historical, but also very entrepreneurial, very dynamic as well. Attracts more tourists than any other festival worldwide. And so one of our graduation ceremonies, which is held in July, takes place in the same month as the Edinburgh Festival. So that'll be a great opportunity to combine a visit to Edinburgh there. Okay, and also voted the best city in the world by Time Out magazine in 2022. So the best city in the world. So again, just underlining the historical nature of the city, but also how entrepreneurial and how dynamic and fantastic nightlife. Very population. Okay, so Edinburgh Napier University, one university of 3 different campuses, all belonging to one university. So we have Site Hill campus there on the left, where we have the School of Applied Sciences and School of Health. Then we have the Merchiston campus with the School of Computing, School of Engineering and the School of Arts, and the Craig Lockhart campus where the business school is located. So when I was talking to some of you at the back, I know you're interested in our business programs. They would be offered from our Craig Lockhart campus. Okay, so 3 different campuses, all 10 minutes from that castle I showed you earlier, from the city centre, all belonging to one university. So we have 21,000 students from more than 130 countries. Most of those students study on campus in Edinburgh, but obviously we have many, as I mentioned earlier, thousands of students studying online and with partner universities. As I mentioned, the Caribbean recruited over 4,500 students to our program, so that's become a very important region for the university for our online programs over the past 11 years. So the university offers industry-informed courses. That means that the programs we offer are developed in association with leading employers and professional bodies. So we're not simply just offering academic, theoretical qualifications, we're offering very practical qualifications which are benchmarked against professional bodies and in many cases also lead towards a professional qualification as well. We've been awarding degrees now since 1964, so 60 years as a fully fledged degree awarding body. I mentioned that we have 21,000 students. We also have 1,500 staff, so it's a very high student to staff ratio. And that means also that we're #1 in the UK for value added, which is what it says, the added value that the university provides for students to get them from an entry level to their final degree award. So that's the inputs provided by the university to get students from the entry level to their final degree award. #1 for value added. And a maximum 5 stars for teaching, employability and internationalization. We're also the #1 modern university in Scotland, according to the most recent ranking in the Times newspaper in 2022. So some famous people associated with the university. Do anyone recognise the gentleman on the left? No?
The music of the university?
No. Actually, we'll come to that in a minute. This one, gentleman, is Sir Sean Connery, and for any James Bond fans out there, he was the first 007, first James Bond. And there he is receiving his honorary doctorate degree from the university. So he was actually a great ambassador for Edinburgh Napier University. He was born and raised in the city of Edinburgh. He lived his final years in the Bahamas. But as I say, he remained a great ambassador for the university. Let's have a look at the lady in the middle. Anyone recognise her? Any Harry Potter fans out here? No? Okay, that is J.K. Rowling. So there she is receiving her honorary degree from the university. When she was living, she wrote books when she was living and studying in Edinburgh. Probably getting a bit more difficult now. The lady on the left, I'll give you a clue, she's an actress. Any fans of the Narnia Chronicles? Yes, okay. I believe she was the White Witch. I've never seen the film, but I believe she was the White Witch in the Narnia Chronicles. Tilda Swinton, Dame Tilda Swinton. Okay, so there she is receiving her honorary doctorate degree. And then coming to the final one, and the clue is in the title, Edinburgh Napier University, that is John Napier. So we take the name of the university from him. He was a very famous mathematician back in the 1600s. He came up with the concept of logarithms, which is a very important mathematical concept. And in fact, one of the old estates that I showed earlier in the campuses was his old, he lived in part of that back in the 1600s. So Edinburgh Napier University, we take our name from him, John Napier. So a bit of inspiration for us all now before we start talking about the programs. This is Edinburgh Napier's oldest graduate at 84 years old. He started his doctorate degree at 81 years old. He finished in the minimum time of 3 years. And there, as I say, you can see him there at the graduation. And he was asked to say a few words at the graduation ceremony because it was such a special achievement. He said, "I'm old and slowing down, you are young and speeding up. If I can do it, just think how much more you can do." So great words of inspiration for all of us there. And then we had, a bit closer to this region, we had a student in Trinidad. He was a farmer. He started his MBA with Edinburgh Napier University at 68 years old. He graduated in the minimum time of 1.5 years. So he graduated at 70 years old, and there he is receiving his doctorate degree. But he didn't just stop there. He earned his MBA, and then he went on to study an MSc Business Management, again online with Edinburgh Napier University. So he now has 2 online master's degrees from Edinburgh Napier University, and he's not stopping there. He's now about to embark on his PhD, again, which university? I think you can guess. Edinburgh Napier University. So he's obviously a very satisfied student. So again, a great example of lifelong learning to all of us. And here we are. I stay in contact with a lot of our students and graduates on LinkedIn. Are you familiar with LinkedIn here? Yeah. This came up, and it was one of our graduates. His name is Davidson Ishmael in Barbados, and he did the online MBA he started in 2015 and studied the online MBA, and then he went on to do an MSc Business Management online, just like Mr. Roop. Again, 2 online master's degrees from Edinburgh Napier University. And recently he was appointed the Minister for Industry, Innovation, Science and Technology at the government of Barbados. So that's a great achievement, a great success story, particularly if you look at what his MBA was in. MBA in Leadership and Innovation. So he's putting those studies to direct use in his ministerial position. And then just to underline that once students start with us, they like to stick with us. So we had a student in the Bahamas, and he studied the BA Business and Enterprise back, I believe it was back in 2015, online, and then he went on to do an MBA finance, again with Edinburgh Napier University online, so he has 2 master's degrees, and now he's doing a terminal degree, a doctorate degree, and he's well along the path of achieving this doctorate degree. So from bachelor's to master's to doctorate, that's the pathway that is achievable. Okay, a couple of awards the university has achieved in recent years. One of them is the Customer Service Excellence Award. This is a purely voluntary scheme for UK public sector organisations to go through. So Edinburgh Napier University is one of the few universities that have gone through this scheme, and we have to meet certain criteria to maintain this designation from the UK government. So as all of you are potential customers or students of the university, that should give you some encouragement. We're also a double recipient of the Queen's Anniversary Prizes. The last time for that was in 2015. So I mentioned to you that we have 3 different campuses, all belonging to Edinburgh Napier University. So Craig Lockhart campus is where the business school is located. It's a fantastic campus, 10 minutes from the city centre, network teaching facilities, computer labs, Wi-Fi, everything you would expect from a modern state-of-the-art campus. Okay, so the business school, let's talk about the business school now. The business school has AACSB accreditation. Is anyone familiar with that? No? It's very important. It is the Association to Advance Collegiate Schools of Business. It is the leading accrediting body for business schools worldwide. So if I mention to you Harvard, Wharton, MIT, their business schools all have AACSB accreditation. So the top business schools, the top 5% in the world, have that accreditation. So it's a very lengthy process. It can take 10, 11 years to achieve, but we have that seal of approval from AACSB, very important. So, do you remember how many students we have at the university? I mentioned that earlier. 21,000, right? So 21,000 students at the university, so half of those students are studying at the business school. So I mentioned earlier, all the programs that we offer are developed and benchmarked against leading professional bodies. So, for example, if you do an accounting or finance module, that will be benchmarked against ACCA. If you do an HR module, that will be benchmarked against the Society for Human Resource Management. So, basically, you are earning very practical qualifications with the latest theory, the latest concepts on our programs. I already mentioned AACSB. So the business school is very heavily involved in research, and over half of that research is rated as world-leading or internationally excellent. And we have many high-quality business and international partnerships. I'll show you some of those in a moment. So we've been active in Hong Kong for over 30 years. We have our own offices in Hong Kong, as well as India, Nigeria, Southeast Asia, and China. We have over 20 international institutional partners, where sometimes we're offering overseas delivery, where we're flying faculty to deliver the programs in a particular country, or maybe we have dual site delivery, where students study part of their degree in the UK and part of their degree overseas. And we have 130,000 graduates or active alumni in 130 countries. So, some of the partnerships we have internationally. So you can see up here. So we have up there on the left-hand side, at the top, we have a collaboration with Ryerson University in Toronto, in Canada. We have a collaboration with the State University of New York. I'm not sure if you do have a Sandals hotel in Dominica. No? Okay, so we've worked with Sandals Corporate University out of Montego Bay for the past 11 years. So many of their executives have gone through our bachelor's degree in hospitality, tourism, or master's degrees in that area, events management as well. Okay, so we've had that collaboration for a number of years. We also work with Carolec out of St. Lucia. Carolec is the Association for Utility Companies. They organise workshops, conferences, training for utility company employees right throughout the Caribbean. So we work with them now for 11 years as well. But you can see all over the world here these different collaborations: Poland, France, Germany, Thailand, UAE, all across the world. So accreditation. To call yourself a university in the UK, you must have approval from the Privy Council. The Privy Council is the highest law across, or legal body across the Commonwealth. So therefore, we are internationally recognised. We have that recognition. There is a UK government website, gov.uk, which lists out the recognised bodies, and you can see here Edinburgh Napier University. But wherever we work across the Caribbean, we want to get these statements of recognition, so you can be assured that your qualification is recognised by your local Ministry of Education, your local accreditation department. So you can see here in Barbados we have a statement of recognition. In the Bahamas, we are in fact the only UK university approved and recognised to offer online degrees in the Bahamas. So we have to submit every year different updates about new programs we're offering, our faculty, number of students, all that kind of information. And they want to know that what we're offering in the Bahamas is exactly the same quality as we're offering back in Scotland, okay? That we're not simply making different programs up for different markets. Everything we do has to match the same quality as what we offer in the UK. Same with Guyana, National Accreditation Council there. Statement of recognition, Trinidad and Tobago. St. Lucia Department of Education fully endorses the online and distance education degrees offered by ENU. Antigua and Barbuda, National Accreditation Board, Statement of Recognition. Grenada, National Accreditation Board. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, National Accreditation Board. Belize there. Again, in Belize, we are the only UK university approved and recognised to offer online degrees there. University Council of Jamaica, we're going through that. We're in the final stages of the process with them at the moment, and also St. Kitts on there, off there tomorrow. St. Kitts Medicine Accreditation Board. So your question would be, what about Dominica? And I've had many communications unless you, the student themselves, once you graduate, go there and apply with the accreditation board, in which case they will recognise our programs, they do recognise our qualifications. We've had many graduates from Dominica, but as I say, we haven't actually got a second recognition. I was told that there is a meeting in November where hopefully eventually we may actually get that state of recognition, which we've been waiting for. And of course, you will now be on our database and you'll be the first to know if we get that. But rest assured that our programs are recognised in Dominica, and if you did go, once you graduate and apply, or you may know differently, you may know different methods of how programs are recognised, but absolutely it is recognised in Dominica. Any questions about that at all? I would absolutely go ahead, because I know for a fact from the graduates that we've had from Dominica, our graduates have all been accepted and recognised in Dominica. So I would, without hesitation, go ahead. Yes, and by, as I said, if before January something came up, a statement of recognition, then of course we would notify you of that. But it doesn't have any bearing on the recognition actually of your programme.
Because I did get in touch with the board, but they told me they would get back to me, and that's been a month.
Oh, you got in touch with who?
The accreditation board.
Exactly, and it's not easy to get in touch with them, is it? Yeah, no. So I'm in touch with, I think it's Miss Williams, I'm not sure, I think it is, and she told me there's a meeting in November, and hopefully that'll be good. But yeah, I mean, it's an issue trying to get in touch with them. Yes, you had a question?
Yeah, we don't have to follow up question, but I think she can ask what I was going to, because I was saying it affects the, like you have all the, I see you have all the other countries.
Yes.
Most of the Caribbean countries.
Yes.
And I was looking for Dominica, and you see Dominica, that's like also as a going out.
Yes.
It's crazy. So she was saying that when this young lady saw the message,
Okay.
she spoke to the people at the Ministry of Education Board, and they have to talk about research.
Yeah.
So that was my concern as well, the
Yeah.
accreditation part of it.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. actually, of course, is very important. But you know, programs that are recognised, for example, UWE is recognised in the UK, and therefore, so there's no suggestion that it's not recognised. It's just that there is a bureaucracy involved. That's what happens. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on. Let's look at the programs themselves now. Okay, so we have a whole range of online programs. We call them global online programs. So they are 100% online, and they are asynchronous. And asynchronous obviously means that they're not synchronous. So when you choose an online program, you want to know, hopefully, but probably, you want to know that you study in your own time, in your own place, at your own pace. Okay, no one's saying to you, you have to be online at a certain time on a certain day, because you're all busy working professionals, right? So that's why our program is asynchronous. It's designed specifically for busy working professionals, so you never have to be online at a certain time on a certain date, okay? So, therefore, the program is very flexible, okay? As I mentioned, you study the time, place and pace to suit your own personal and professional demands. The materials are high quality, they're engaging, interactive, and self-directed. We use a lot of animation, a lot of videos, everything to try and bring the content, the subject matter alive, you know, particularly to real-world examples as well. It's a truly international student experience. You'll be studying the same modules at the same time with your fellow students, obviously in Dominica, across the Caribbean or globally. In fact, many of our students also form their own WhatsApp groups, which they find very helpful as well. So it's a great networking opportunity, what we call peer-to-peer support, student-to-student support. We have 3 intakes a year, January, May, September. We're now recruiting for the January 2024 intake, as I mentioned. Okay, so you have up until the end of the first week of December to apply for that. After that, it's a bit too close for Christmas, and then the program actually starts, I believe, on January the 14th. It's mid-January. I think it's the 14th of January. So, so there's your opportunity. If you miss that opportunity, the next opportunity will be May 2024. 3 intakes a year. There are a couple of exceptions to that, but most of our programs have 3 intakes a year. These are the programs that we offer, the global online programs. So we have everything up there from a DBA, a Doctorate of Business Administration. That is actually the only program that we do have mandatory workshops. This is where you would have to be online at a certain time on a certain day. Not all the time. This would take place once every 3 months, 3 to 4 day seminars. But you don't actually have to go in person. It's a virtual workshop, so you study online. All the other programs, you do not have to attend any workshops online. So we have the MBA with different specializations, the MSc Business Management with different specializations. We have our specialist masters programs, construction project management, data science, data engineering, transport planning and engineering, MSc HRM, Master of Public Health. The Master of Public Health is only 1 intake a year, which is in January 2024. If you miss that, the next one will be January 2025. That's just 1 intake a year for that program. And then we have a postgraduate certificate in career development, which is 1/3 of a master's degree, 60 credits. And then we come up to our top-up programs, which you may use a different term here, but you know what I mean by top-up. Okay, some of you do maybe, but a top-up is basically where you would have an associate degree, it could be, for example, the Dominican State College, and work experience alongside that associate degree. And then you could be admitted, you would be considered for entry to our final year, which is the year 3. Because in Scotland, a bachelor's degree is 3 years, year 1, year 2, year 3. So you would be exempt from year 1 and year 2 based on your associate degree and your work experience. And then you can join our year 3 to earn your bachelor's degree in 1 year minimum or 3 years maximum. So, so that's something that you could consider. You've got nothing to lose by applying because there's no application fee. You just need to see your associate degree and a detailed resume or CV. Okay? And we have those top-up degrees in Bachelor of Business Management, Bachelor of Arts in Business Management. You can specialise in finance, hospitality, HRM, or marketing, or just do a general BA again. You don't have to specialise. And then we have a BA in Business and Enterprise. We have a BA in Marketing Management, a BSc in Nursing Studies, where you have to be a currently registered nurse in order to take that programme. And then we have a BSc in Computing. So those are our top-up programmes. So let's start by talking about the MBA and the MSc Business Management. So I'm going to use these two programs as an example. So when I talk about the academic calendar, I talk about the grading, I talk about the assessment, all that information applies to all of our programs. But I'm just using these as an example. So the MBA, you can see here we have a range of specializations, and we also do on the MSc Business Management, a range of specializations. So what's the difference between the two? The MBA is very practical. You have to have work experience in order to do the MBA, a minimum of 2 years work experience. Okay, it's all about action learning, taking the theory and applying that theory. So, as I say, it's much more practical, applying that theory to real world scenarios. Okay, the MSc Business Management is more theoretical. You could be a fresh graduate who has just recently left, finished your undergraduate degree, and go straight on to study our MSc Business Management. Or maybe you are in a non-business environment. You could be a teacher, you could be in the armed forces, police force, something like that, in a non-business environment, but you want to study the theory of management, still study management. So in that case, you would do the MSc Business Management. That's the key difference. MBA, practical, MSc Business Management, more theoretical. So if you do the MBA general, this is what you would do. In fact, if you do any of our MBA Events Management, MBA Logistics, MBA Finance, you have to do 5 core modules. And you can hopefully see those 5 core modules there. Management and organisational change, leading strategic decision making, building and marketing high-performing organisations, global business economics and finance, and data analysis for business decision making, which is kind of a research methods module which prepares you for the final project. So it doesn't matter what you do, as I mentioned, MBA General, MBA Finance, MBA Logistics, you have to do 5 core modules. And then, depending on your area of specialisation, you will do 2 compulsory modules. In this case, if you do the MBA General, you will study contemporary issues in strategic management and managing innovation. So 7 modules at 20 credits, that's 140 credits, and then you do the project at another 40 credits. 140 credits plus the project, that's 40 credits, 180 credits in order to earn your master's degree. Any of our master's degrees are 180 credits. So what happens if you start the program and for whatever reason you have to exit the program? You will still earn an award in the module or modules that you have studied. So let's say you start the program, you do one module, management and organisational change, and you have to exit the program, maybe for financial reasons, health reasons, family reasons. You can still earn an award in that module that you have completed. If you do 3 modules and earn 60 credits and you exit the program, you earn a postgraduate certificate in business administration. If you do 6 modules and you exit the program, you will earn a postgraduate diploma in business administration. So all is not lost. As you work your way through the program, you're working your way towards a qualification. Okay? The ideal situation would be if you do the whole 180 credits to earn the MBA. Okay? So there is a brochure at the back there. It's a black brochure which will tell you which modules you do with each specialisation. So just as an example, if you remember how many core modules there are, 5 core modules, and then if you do a specialised area, for example, MBA Banking, you would also do global finance, financial markets, institutions and banking. 5 plus 2 plus the project equals 180 credits. Okay? And exactly the same, there is a difference in that we call it a dissertation on the MSc Business Management. Remember, this is more theoretical, where the MBA we call it a project because it's more practical, but that's the key difference there, the difference between being theoretical and practical. And exactly the same idea. Again, the black brochure will show you how many modules you do, which specialised modules you do according to your area of specialisation. Okay, so the academic calendar at the university is made up of 3 trimesters. Okay, and each of those trimesters is approximately 15 weeks each. Okay, the maximum number of modules you can do for any of our programs, bachelor's, master's, is 2 modules per trimester. So if you want to do the program in the minimum time, this is what you would do. You study 2 modules in trimester 1, another 2 modules there in trimester 2, another 2 modules in trimester 3, that's module 5 and module 6. In the 4th trimester, you do module 7, which the MBA was that data analysis for business decision-making module. And then in the final trimester, you can do the final project. That would be the minimum time to complete the program, which is just over 1.5 years. Okay, so that's the minimum time. However, most of our students don't do that. Most of our students actually start with 1 module because they want to be comfortable with the virtual learning environment. They want to balance it against their work and family responsibilities. So you can start with 1 module. And then you might think, well, that wasn't so difficult. In the next trimester, I want to do 2 modules. Okay? Or you might think, that was really tough. I want to take a break. And you can take a break any time you like. You don't have to study every trimester. As long as you stay in touch with our office, and I'll explain that later, you can take a break any time you like. The only criteria for our master's degrees is that you have to finish in 4 years maximum. Okay? So in this case, 1.5 years minimum or 4 years maximum. Okay? So, any good online program will have what we call formative feedback and summative assessment. Formative feedback means that as you work your way through the module, and there are 10 units in a module, you will have quizzes, and that is your formative feedback. So basically, you're getting instant feedback. You don't get to the end and you find that you didn't really understand it. You're getting that feedback as you work your way through. When you get to the end, so that is, as I mentioned, 10 units. So basically, that's worth 10% of your grade for the module, right? Also, at the end of the trimester, remember the trimester is 15 weeks, so you will be submitting your assignment at the possibly week 14, week 15, and this will be worth 90% of your grade for the module. That assignment is normally around about a 5,000 word assignment. It can be broken up into 1 or 2 components. It could be a case study, report, okay? So it doesn't have to be 1 piece of work. It might be broken down into 2 pieces of work, but totally about 5,000 words. So that, as I mentioned, is worth 90% of your grade for the module. 10% for quizzes, 90% for your grade for the module, okay? We have software called Turnitin. I don't know if any of you have studied online before, you might be familiar with it, but from week 12 onwards, you can submit your assignment, different drafts of your assignment, through this software, which will give you a similarity score. Similarity meaning to anything which is out there on the internet, anything which is another student has submitted. Okay, so and it does vary from program to program, but over a certain amount, a similarity score, if it's a high similarity score, you would not be able to submit your assignment. So you can do this from week 12 onwards, to make sure that what you are submitting is your original work, that it's not plagiarized. The university takes that very, very seriously. Okay, so let's have a look at grading here. We have everything as low as an F6, and in that case, talking about plagiarism, then you may plagiarize because that's what the kind of grade you would end up with. But we have everything as low as an F6 right through to a D5. And there is an incentive to provide higher quality work in that distinction area because your final certificate, if you get a certain number of grades in that area, and again it does vary from program to program, would say MBA with distinction or bachelor's degree with distinction, okay? So obviously that's the incentive to provide that high quality work. But the minimum grade you're looking for is a P1, which is 50%. Okay, P1, 50% is the minimum pass mark. So what happens if you fail the quiz? Well, unfortunately, that's it. You failed the quiz. But remember, that's only worth 10%, so all is not lost. Okay? If you fail the assignment, which is worth 90%, then you do have an additional resubmission, which you can do at no additional cost. Okay? And in fact, you have up to 2 trimesters to resubmit that at no additional cost. Okay? So basically, 2 trimesters, 30 weeks to work on your assignment and getting up to a certain acceptable level. And if you fail it the second time round, it may be the best assignment ever, but your maximum grade would be a P1 because you failed it the first time. Okay? So that's it. So all is not lost if you fail. You have that opportunity to resubmit at no additional cost. So we have, I've spoken in detail about the MBA, MSc Business Management. I can't go into detail about all the other programs, otherwise we'll be here all night. So I'm going to go through these other programs, give you a very brief overview, and then, but please stop me if you are interested in that particular program and ask me any questions you like. So obviously we have an MBA HR, we have an MSc Business Management HR, but we also have a highly specialist MSc HR. And you can see the difference here, because if you're going to do an MBA HR, you'll be doing generic business subjects and then branching off into an HR area. But here, from day one, you're studying all HR issues. So it's totally focused, that's why it's a specialist MSc HR program. And that's one of the reasons why it's recognised by SHRM. Are you familiar with SHRM at all? SHRM is the leading HR body in the world, the Society for Human Resource Management, 275,000 members worldwide, based in Washington, D.C. Okay, this program is one of the few online programs recognised by SHRM. We also have an MSc Construction Project Management. This is one of 2 programs where you do actually physically have to go to an exam venue, and we would organise this locally for you in Dominica. So, but basically it is the same setup. Most of the modules are assessed by assignment and by exam. We do have by assignment and quizzes, but we do have 3 modules which are assessed by examinations. And again, this program is highly recognised by professional bodies, recognised by the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors, the Institute of Chartered Engineers, the Engineering Council. So a highly prestigious, highly recognised program. You can become a chartered engineer for completion of this program. We have a data science program. This is where you have to have the approval of your employer because you are accessing or doing a research paper, advanced professional practice on your own organisation, which may contain confidential information. So we have to have the approval of your employer if you're going to do that program. We also have a data engineering program as well, a transport planning engineering program. Okay, so again, this is highly recognised. You can become a chartered engineer upon completion of this program as well, and also recognised by the Institute of Chartered Engineers. We have the Master of Public Health program. As I mentioned, this is only 1 intake a year. All our other programs have 3 intakes a year. This program, we only have 1 intake a year coming up in January 2024, a Master of Public Health. Covers, very recent salient topics such as the pandemic. You can see there, contemporary global issues in public health. And then finally, for our master's level programs, we have a PG certificate, postgraduate certificate in career development, which is worth 60 credits. That's 1/3 of a master's degree. So let's just have a look at those top-up programs again. We talked about the top-up. This is where you would have an associate degree. You would also have a detailed CV or resume. You look at your work experience. In some cases, exceptional circumstances, if you do not have an associate degree but you have significant work experience, supervisory experience, we will consider you also for the top-up, the final year. So just to underline, in the UK, a bachelor's degree is 3 years, year 1, year 2, year 3. We're not offering year 1, year 2 in Dominica. We're only offering our final year so that you can earn your bachelor's degree in 1 year minimum or 3 years maximum. So in this case, if so for example, if you have an associate degree from Dominica State College, you can join this 3rd and final year. Let's say you want to do the BA Business Management, and you want to do it, I think there was an example earlier, someone said with finance. So basically, you would do those modules there. You do BA Business Management Finance, change management, strategic management in a global context. You can read down and you study 6 modules. So you do 6 modules in 1 year minimum. Okay? So that's what you would do. So again, there's a leaflet at the back that tells you which modules you'll study for which specialization. But again, I just say, to you, there's no application fee. You've got nothing to lose by applying. Send us your highest qualification. Send us a very detailed resume or CV, and we will then consider your application. Yes, question?
Okay, with the theatre program.
Yes.
At the end of it, what you receive, is it the same as if you did a full year?
It doesn't mention online or anything like that. It's exactly the same as a student who studied 3 years for a bachelor's degree on campus and received. Correct. Yes. Okay. Right. Yeah. So this is what you would do if you want to study a minimum time. You would study again, just like the other programs. You study a maximum of 2 modules per semester. So module 1 and 2 in trimester 1, which is about 15 weeks. Modules 3 and 4 trimester 2, and then modules 5 and 6 in trimester 3. So that's actually under 1 year to earn your bachelor's degree. Okay, but again, many of our students don't want to do that. They may start with 1 module and then take a break, or maybe you pick up the pace later, but you can do it 3 years maximum. So 1 year minimum or 3 years maximum.
Okay.
Yes, sure.
Okay. If I decide to do 1 module and leave out the other,
And leave out what?
the second module.
Yes.
That second module, can I go straight into it next trimester, or do I have to wait for?
There are certain modules which are not available every trimester, and we would give you options, and we would then say to you, this is not available again until a certain time. Okay? So again, you would have to stay in touch with our office and at least stay in touch with you, because towards the end of every trimester, we prepare a modules list for you, so we give you the options that you have, so you can make a considered decision that maybe, that may not be available for another year. I should take this one now. So that's a very good question. Yes, we will give you all that information you need to make an informed decision. Yes. Okay, so as I said, 1 year minimum or 3 years maximum. And that's the same idea that, exactly the same idea. 1 module consists of 10 units. At the end of every unit, you have a quiz. And those quizzes were worth 10% of your grade, and then when you get to the end of the trimester, you submit your assignment. In this case, it might be a 4,000 word assignment, and that would be worth 90% of your grade for the module. Okay? So, BA Business and Enterprise. Now, normally when we look, I've just been talking about the BA Business Management, we would be looking for an associate degree, in that case, in a relevant discipline. So if you're going to be doing the BA Business Management, we do look for an associate degree, normally an associate degree in business, in commerce, or something along those lines. It doesn't actually exactly have to map what we offer in year 1, year 2, but it would normally be a relevant qualification. However, this is a unique program, the BA Business and Enterprise. You could have an associate degree in any discipline, and provided you have work experience, and preferably at a supervisory level, then we would consider you to join our 3rd and final year to a BA Business and Enterprise, again, 1 year minimum or 3 years maximum. So I say it's unique because, as I say, it's a unique way to earn a business degree without having an education previously in business, provided you have work experience. And it's a very practical program. In this case, you would do 3 modules, and concurrently, you would do a work-based learning project as well. That's why you have to be in employment this program to be doing research, a work-based research paper. Okay, BA Marketing Management, we also offer, again, the same idea. Normally you have an associate degree in that area, or maybe you've got many years experience in the marketing area. Okay, so that's another one. BSc Nursing Studies, this is where you would have, you would be a currently registered nurse in order to take this program. Okay, so there we go. So that's the BSc Nursing Studies. And computing, you would normally have the final year, a bachelor's degree in 1 year. Okay? And there is a business administration. For this program, we have it 1 a year. We've just started our, it's in October every year that the program starts. So the next opportunity will be October 2024 for this. If anyone's interested, I'll talk to you later about that program. It's a bit convoluted, so I'd like to talk to you more on that. Let's look at the virtual learning environment. Every student will study on the VLE, the virtual campus, the virtual learning environment. It's available on all digital mobile platforms, including your iPad, your iPhone. It's a very portable. You can study anytime, any place, anywhere. Okay? So, with every module, you get, with every program, you get a program handbook. And this gives you useful links, the academic calendar, the university regulations, everything you need to know to be a student at Edinburgh Napier University. With every module, you get a study guide. Okay? Every module, you get a study guide. And as you know, we've talked about it, every module consists of 10 units. The study guide consists of 10 units. And, as it says, will be guiding you to different resources, different readings, different articles, journals. Okay? So everything will flow from that. Everything will flow from your study guide. Okay? So, with every module, you also get an induction or overview. This may be with the program leader talking about giving you an overview, talking about key learning points. Also, that will cover outline solutions or model answers. So very important that you have that module overview as well. I mentioned that we try and keep it engaging and interactive. So we do use a lot of animation, a lot of videos. We sometimes video live lectures that take place in the classroom. You don't have to watch them live, but they are archived for you to observe those lectures that have taken place on campus. So again, we try to keep it engaging and interactive as much as possible. We have links to core module academic materials, books, chapters, journals, articles. So actually with every module, your core materials, as I mentioned, are your study guide and an e-book. Okay, so every module will have an e-book. You never have to go anywhere to buy books. Everything's at your fingertips. Once a week, we have a WebEx session with your tutor. Okay, this is a WebEx session. It's not compulsory. Remember, our program is asynchronous. You never have to be online at a certain time on a certain date. It's entirely up to you when you log on. But if you want, once a week, you can take advantage of the opportunity to speak live with your tutor and your fellow students. Okay? If you miss that, it will be archived and you can go back and record it and watch it at your own convenience. Okay, so that's the WebEx session once a week. So we have a lot of vodcasts and podcasts. This is where we might invite an expert on a particular topic, a business topic, for example, to speak about a particular topic, to bring it to a real-world example. We also have tutor-led discussion forums, discussion threads. We can take part with your tutor and your fellow students as well. We have narrated PowerPoint. Some people like to hear a voiceover to bring a topic alive. So instead of just reading, they like to hear a voice bringing the key learning points out. Case study exercises and reflective or self-assessment questions. All along, we're checking your understanding as you work your way through. So you don't get to the end and find you didn't understand it. End of unit progress tests, we've spoken about those. And peer-to-peer forums, student-to-student forums. So you can communicate with your fellow students in Dominica or globally. Okay, so very important. Great way to share ideas, to network with your fellow students as well. Okay, a couple of things to point out. Edinburgh Napier University students believe that Edinburgh Napier University is in the top 5 in the UK for believing that the IT resources supported their learning. Very important statistic this, because you're studying an online program. So it's important that the students themselves feel that the IT resources support their learning. Top 5 in the UK for that. Every student at the beginning of the program is assigned a personal development tutor. This is something we introduced a few years ago. So it's very important that if you have any issues which you think are adversely impacting impacting your studies, but you don't want to speak to the module tutor, the guy who's going to be doing, or lady who's going to be doing your grading, you can speak confidentially to a personal development tutor who maybe can help you resolve any issues you might be having on a confidential basis. So every student at the beginning of the module is assigned a personal development tutor. All of our lecturers are chosen for their world-leading expertise, so they have unique links to business and industry. So not simply academics, all of them have unique links to business and industry. We also have academic skills workshops as well. So maybe many of you have never studied online before, or maybe you haven't studied for a number of years. In this case, we offer these academic skills workshops to bring you up to speed. Okay, you can take part in as many or as few as you like, entirely up to you, purely optional. But we have topics such as critical essay writing, exam preparation, managing workloads, everything to get you up to speed to be a student at Edinburgh Napier University. So we have the ongoing support. We have our global online support team based back in the UK. Obviously there is a time difference of 5 hours, but they will respond to your queries as soon as possible. If you're having any issues, if you cannot submit your assignment on time, if there's any mitigating circumstances, you can discuss with that global online support team back in the UK. If you require an urgent answer, for those of you who are here at the beginning, I am from the regional office, Southport Education International, based in Florida. We are your regional resource centre, exclusive representative. We are there to support you in your own time zone. If you have any urgent issues, you can live chat with us, you can ask us to call you, and we can try and resolve any urgent issues you might be having. We are there purely to support you. Okay, we have news forums as well with updates relevant to you and your studies, and an IT 24/7 service desk for any immediate technical issues. So, at the beginning, this is just a screenshot. At the beginning of the program, we have our induction, and every student must go through the induction. This takes place in week 1. Every student, this is where your regulations, the academic calendar, all that kind of information. Very important. Every student has to go through that induction in week 1. Okay? This is just a screenshot of the different online resources that you have. I mean, you'll have things like a module introduction, for the program leader, okay, just giving a message to you about giving you an overview of the module. But you have all these different links, as I mentioned, to journals, articles, readings, videos, everything you need to get you through that module. Then we have weekly bite-sized learning. What I mean by this is that we have, basically, remember that we have one module is 10 units. Remember that? Okay. So, in an ideal world, in an ideal scenario, you will be studying 1 unit per week. Okay? Obviously, if you have 2 modules at a time, then you have to study 2 modules per week. Okay? So, by the way, you don't have to do this. This is only a suggestion. The way the program has been designed is if you wish to do 1 module in 15 weeks, then you'll be studying 1 unit per week. Okay? You may find yourself cramming towards at the end. Many of our students do that. Or you may find yourself doing 3 or 4 units a week. I've met plenty of students who do that. But the university outlined the program in this way that you know you're on track if you are doing 1 unit per week, if you're studying 1 module at a time. Okay? Different places to interact. We mentioned the weekly session. If you missed that, relevant to your circumstances as possible. So as you work your way through the program, you have a workbook, taking the theory and applying that to your own roles and responsibilities in your own workplace. Very important that these programs are as practical as possible. Online library, a very advanced online library, second to none. We're adding to it all the time. You can see here all these e-books, we're adding to those all the time. I said, you never have to go and buy any books, go to a bookshop. And also we have, when you get to the end of your program, and if your program does have a project or dissertation, we have statistical software which you can access through the university library as well, which will be important on any project that you might do. Okay, so just to repeat, for those of you who came late, I'm from South Point Education. That's me there, the third bullet point, Andrew Corley. I'm the CEO of South Point Education International, based in Florida. We've worked with the university now since 2012, and in that time recruited nearly 5,000 students to our programs, to the Edinburgh Napier University online programs. So when you apply to the program, you are dealing with our office in Florida. So everything will go through our office, okay? But just to underline, these are not franchise programs, okay? All the academic delivery is 100% by Edinburgh Napier University. So you have direct contact with Edinburgh Napier University professors. Your certificate is exactly the same as a student on campus will receive. Okay, so it's not franchise. It doesn't say Edinburgh Napier University studied at SCI, anything like that. Exactly the same certificate as a full-time student would receive, and no mention of online. But think of us as your regional resource centre, there to support you. So when you choose your modules, you'll be dealing with our office. When you make your payment, you'll be dealing with our office. But, as I said, all the academic delivery is 100% by Edinburgh Napier University. So how to apply? So you may visit our website, scidegrees.com. There's all the leaflets at the back. You can access those leaflets. The website, you'll see the scidegrees.com listed on those leaflets. So basically, if you wish to apply, you'll be asked to submit the following. So number one, that's all you have to do initially, just to get the ball rolling, okay? So number one, complete your online application form. That could take you 10, 15 minutes maximum, okay? And then once we have that in our office, we get back to you normally within 24 hours. We say, thank you very much, we now need these other documents. And then we'll give you outline of those documents are. And they would be a copy of your highest qualification. It may be your associate degree, it may be your bachelor degree, okay? And a copy of your highest qualification. And then we would need a detailed CV or resume from you, which outlines your companies, how long you worked there, the title, duties, responsibilities. So a very detailed resume. As I mentioned, even for our master's degrees, if you do not have a bachelor's degree, but you have significant work experience, preferably supervisory level, we will still consider you entry to our master's degree. So, you know, as I said, you've got nothing to lose by applying, just as long as we have a very detailed resume or CV from you. We also need an employment verification letter from your current employee, outline again, you know, your title and how long you've been there. If you don't have that, an academic reference, if you've studied within the last 3 years, will be accepted. Okay? If you're self-employed, we can get a client reference confirming the services that you offered and a business registration certificate as well. Okay? So once we have all that, could take up to a week to get a response from the university, okay, not normally longer than a week, and that will be an official offer letter on university letterhead, okay, so you can use that for sponsorship purposes, you know, bank loans, anything you may need that for, okay, so it's an official offer letter from the university, okay, so basically a very straightforward process. Okay, there is another piece of paper at the back there with all the tuition fees listed for all of our programs. I just have a couple of examples here. So let's have a look at the MBA. For all of our programs, you've got two choices. You can either pay in full or you can pay as you go. So probably 90% of our students actually choose the modular payment plan. They pay as they go. But if you do choose the payment in full option, it does work out. So if you do the MBA and decide to pay up front for the whole program, that the fee there, you can see there, is $9,356. Okay, so that's for the whole program. It's not per year, it's for the whole program. It includes library fees, it includes graduation fees. There are no hidden or extra charges. Okay, so that would be the whole fee. If you choose to pay as you go, you would pay on a modular basis. So if you start with one module, you pay for the MBA $1,155, and then it's up to you as you pay, for the next modules. As you order your next modules, then you pay for those. The final project there on the MBA is $2,310. So the total fee comes to $10,395, except we are offering a $200 bursary for all of our postgraduate programs for the January intake. So actually your total fee will be $10,195, and your first modular payment will only be $955 instead of $1,155. Okay. Same idea as you see even for the bachelors. If you pay in full, the fee is $4,356. If you pay as you go, you pay $840 per module, so it works out at $5,040. Okay? So the good news is that the fees are locked in for the duration of your studies. So unlike many universities, we will not increase the fees every year. Sometimes you end up paying a lot more than you bargained for. In this case, we will not increase the fees for the maximum duration of your studies. That fee, so for the master's degree, remember the maximum duration is 4 years, that fee will remain the same for 4 years. For the bachelor's degree, that fee will remain the same for 3 years. That's the maximum duration. Okay, I mentioned the $200 bursary, I mentioned that there's no application fee, and then there's a bit of small print there at the bottom, which normally is not a good thing, but in this case it is, because we have a refer a friend scheme. Okay, so if you and your friend apply, and so your friend does the MBA and you do the MSc Business Management, then your friend will get $500 off their fee, and you get $500 off your fee, and there's no limit on the number of friends that you refer. We've had students who refer 10 friends, and that's $5,000, okay, off your fee. For the undergraduate, if you refer a friend, they get $350 off their fee, you get $350 off your fee, and again, no limit on the number of friends that you refer. Okay, that's something to bear in mind. Right. So the graduation ceremony takes place in Edinburgh every July and October every year. It's a great opportunity to network, to meet your fellow students who you are on the program with. A great occasion, you get to walk across the stage. As I say, it takes place July and October every year. If you cannot attend that, your certificate will be couriered to you, but as I say, a great opportunity to visit the #1 city in the world, according to Time Out magazine last year. Okay, Edinburgh. Okay, a wonderful city. Okay, so there we go. And more and more of our students across the Caribbean are now visiting the graduation. So as I say, it's a great occasion. Okay, that's just a screenshot of the parchment that you would receive there from the university in this case. That did say with distinction. Okay, so there you see University crest and logo there. Okay, so if you do go, just coming to the end now, but if you do go to our homepage, our website, then you'll see you can click on our YouTube channel, or you can click on our Facebook page, and you'll see lots of testimonials, written testimonials, video testimonials from our graduates or our existing students. This is another one of our success stories, because she also earned 2 master's degrees from Edinburgh Napier University. She's now the general manager of a hotel where I do these sessions in St. Vincent. I'll be there in a couple of weeks' time. So that's a success story. But you'll come across these on our YouTube channel or our Facebook page, all these different testimonials from our students right throughout the Caribbean. Okay, just to underline that success story, he earned 2 master's degrees online from Edinburgh Napier University, and now he's the Minister for Industry, Innovation, Science and Technology at the Government of Barbados. And the great thing about that was that his MBA was in leadership and innovation. So he's putting his studies to direct use in his ministerial position. So all of those are available online for you. Okay, so I've come to the end now. I'm happy to take any questions. Normally, I'll stay behind 10-15 minutes, however long it takes, to speak to you one-on-one about your own individual circumstances if you wish. So all I would ask you to do, there are some forms at the back. If you don't mind filling out that form and just returning to me or putting it on this table here, and then we can keep programs, anything you might need to know. Okay, so any questions now, anyone? Yes?
And along the way, let's say 3 or 4 weeks into the program, I feel that I cannot handle it too much. If what is the possibility, or can I just stop?
Excellent. It's a great question, yes. So you have up to 5 weeks in which to defer that module. So you can do that as long as you notify us. I'm pretty sure it's by the end of week 5, but this is something you'll learn in the university regulations when you have your induction. But I'm pretty sure it's the end of week 5 is the cut-off, right? So if you think I can't handle the second module, then you can defer that and then pick. Okay, so yeah, absolutely, yes. Any other questions? Anyone?
Okay, another one.
Yes.
In terms of tuition fees, for example, I already got my offer acceptance.
Okay.
So in terms of what is the deadline for payment?
Right, I mean, really you should pay by mid-December. I think, occasionally we might give you an early deadline to encourage you, particularly as we go into Christmas when the university shuts down. So it might pay to pay attention to that. But frankly, I think if you do it to mid-December, if you're starting in January, then you'll be fine. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions, anyone? Okay, well, as I say, oh yes, at the back, yes. Yeah.
What happened?
You mean your assignment?
The assignment.
Yeah.
Second question.
Well, hold on. I didn't see one at a time. So if you cannot complete your assignment, unfortunately, you fail. That's the fact. That's the reality. That's where the lady's question here is very important, because hopefully by week 5 you should have determined, am I letting things slip here? So you can still make that decision by the end of week 5 to defer that. So hopefully you don't get to the end of week 15 into that situation. There are mitigating circumstances where if you can produce some evidence that something may have happened that impacted your studies, then you can get an extension on your assignment. But there have to be pretty strong circumstances. So that's where the lady's question comes in very handy, because hopefully by week 5 you will know by then. But unfortunately, if you do get to the end of week 15, you haven't notified us that you're going to defer, then unfortunately you will fail. But if you fail, hopefully you will hear for that. You do have one chance to resubmit at no additional cost up to 30 weeks later. You have another 30 weeks to work on that assignment that you either failed or you didn't submit. Okay? Next.
Second question, usually if we go into the second, we will do it minimum 1 year, maximum 3. But life testing, like I said.
Yes.
What happens if you reach the end and you have to be able to complete all 6 months?
If you can't complete all 6 modules, that then is a problem. You have, basically this is the maximum period that you can study. So again, if you haven't deferred, if you haven't told us you're withdrawing from the program, then there's nothing we can do in that. But all I would say is if you are in touch with our office, if you don't just disappear and you say, I wish to withdraw from the program, then we know where you are. If you do wish to return at another time, then that will remain on the record. Okay? So again, all is not lost if that did happen. But in some cases, students don't notify us of where they are and what they did. So, but as long as you notify us at every stage of what you wish to do, then that we can come around and hopefully come up with a solution for that. Okay. Yes.
Just one more question. Talking about the degree in nursing studies, I noticed that the master's degree in any specification of nursing studies are not offered online. But what about the medical
his specialisation. So. Absolutely, yeah.
It's offered on campus,
Yeah. The university is looking at that, broadening the portfolio. Edinburgh Napier University has healthcare tests at any other university in Scotland, and really this should be a great online presence, really. So that is something that has to be spoken about. Yes, yeah. Okay, all right, so very good. Thank you very much. I'm going to be here for the next 10-15 minutes. If you do want to speak one-on-one. Okay, let's do that. So, thank you. Have a good rest of your evening. Thank you.